going through it worldwide. So I thought I'd share my story, and also it might be an encouragement for somebody who's going through it, or somebody who might go through it in future, or just perspective from a Kenyan. So my name is Sydney Sino. Guys call me, my fans on Anita SOS. So my guys who know me call me Sauce. Other guys just call me Sydney. Yeah. So my story is about getting COVID, overcoming COVID. Yeah, and what I've learned also through the COVID process and the whole aspect of being and living with COVID. So my whole story started actually, it's something that happened actually the previous month. It was not the previous month, just as not April, before April, as the month was just ending. So what happened was that it was just like a day like this. It was just a Tuesday. I believe it was a Tuesday evening. I was just coming from work, and passed by, just seeing a few guys. So during that period, there had been that guys had been opened up, in terms of, guys were operating normally. So we didn't have the curfew and stuff. And guys were, I thought that okay, this COVID thing was real, but to me it wasn't real, because I'd seen it was mostly affecting older guys. So I thought that this COVID thing couldn't like affect me. That was my perception then. So it was that Tuesday evening. It wasn't kind of chilly, but coming back home, the first thing that I noticed when I came back was that I felt kind of cold. So actually, thank God I haven't been sick for almost like 2 years straight. So my body felt a bit odd. I was kind of feeling like a bit tired, I would say. And coming to back home, the first thing I thought that, this could be malaria, because malaria, you feel kind of weak. You feel also, saa zingine, there's I had that symptoms of cold and symptoms of hotness. You're feeling cold, you're feeling fever. So it was a mix of both. So coming back home, it was around 7ish in the evening. So what I did, I didn't have supper. I just went to bed straight that evening. So usually communicate with my mama. She doesn't live with me, but that day we didn't communicate. So actually the next morning, I wake up still. I had the same symptoms of fever. So I thought, I called myself to a meeting. So unajua ile unajiita kwa meeting, unajiambia, hey, you guys, you're not feeling good, but this thing, could it be COVID? But me, I said, it can't be COVID, because if I'm a young guy, I usually go to the gym, because I have my own gym over here. I would call it a gym. I usually do exercises, like I do run at least twice or once in a month. So in terms of having just keeping myself fit, I do keep myself fit. So it's like, how could it be? So I thought it to myself, but I put it in the back of my head. Kajiambia hii haiwezi kuwa. So what ended up happening was that that day I tried to do a few errands, but by the time it was reaching around noon, that's when the fever, because it was a really sunny day that day. That was the coming Wednesday. It was really sunny, and I felt like I could breathe normally. That was kawaida. But in terms of the fever, I felt that I was sweating a lot. I was perspirating, and that day I remember I was to have a meeting with somebody. So what I did, I came back kind of early, because I checked from the house like around 9ish hapo. So but during my rounds, I ended up noticing the symptoms. So what ended up happening is that by around 12ish, I came back home. So what I did was that first thing I thought, if this thing could be COVID, because of the sweating symptoms, etc. So I remember early that day, I called my mama. Kambia, niaje, your guy by there is not feeling good. Sijui. He's been having kind of like a fever-ish. So I told her that also there was a sore throat also. So that was what made me think of it as it could be COVID. So uh, what I did was I asked for a certain prescription, and I was she told me, okay, do you guys go and try strepsils. So actually that morning I did try strepsils, but during the course of the day I told myself, hey, you guys, you go and check just in case it can be malaria, ama inaweza kuwa kitu ingine, it might be COVID. But in my mind I told myself it can't be. So I went to Nairobi West Hospital. So over there, checked in. They usually test you, you guy. So checked in. They told me, you guy go there. To have a, they call it a what? It was a rapid test. Yeah. So they did a rapid test on me. So that was just to something to just get if you do have COVID or not. So it's a quicker process in terms of finding COVID. So the actual between getting the results, it took like almost like an hour. So between that hour, 1 hour, I was just in the OC. I was checking guys. So what actually during that whole month, I was preparing for an event. I was going to hold an event. It was called the Maber Africa Motor Show. It was to be in Kani. Sometime in actually it was going to happen between May 1st and 2nd. May 1st and 2nd. You guys, sorry about that. Well, I'll just need to start this again. Or let me just start from where I am, because you guys, you found me where I am. Sorry about the sound, but I'll just start again. So, my name is Sydney Sino, and my this is my story of how I got COVID from the start to the finish, because I got COVID some time back before April, January, February, March, in March, at the end of March. So between March, I actually got COVID. So what actually happened was that it was just like one of those normal days. You just from work and doing your own errands. So that day I came back home. It was like around 6 to 7 there. So coming back home that day, I felt kind of lethargic. Yani nilikuwa nimechoka choka. So coming back home, I was like, you guy, vipi? So, because I usually live on my own. So my mama doesn't live with me because she's doing her own thing. She's still at school. So yeah. So coming back home, it was just I had that feeling in terms of that fever. I had a fever and I was feeling kind of lethargic. So in my mind nikajiambia, you guys, this can be malaria because of the symptoms. With malaria you unasikia saa zingine that coldness, unasikia hiyo hotness, yani there's that fever So there's that influx. You're kind of feeling cold, chilly. Saa zingine you're feeling hot. So what ended up happening was that I thought, let me lie down. I'll wake up and prepare something maybe baadaye. But actually I slept overnight because my body was kind of tired. So waking up the next morning, I wake up with the same symptoms. I'm feeling kind of like feverish. I'm feeling kind of like cold. So I'm like, you guy bana, this can be malaria. This malaria inaonekana ni ile malaria imeenda school, ile imeenda group of schools na ikapitia paka ile zile shule za ushago ile ya kuchapa. You guy nikajiambia, you guy, maybe this one, it looks like maybe I'll go and just have medicine, because thank God for the last 2 years I haven't gotten sick. So, and thankfully I thank God, and also it's also part, I try to live also kind of like a healthy lifestyle in terms of working out. I do have, let's say, like my own weights, niko na weights zangu, and then I do also run, like I do running at least once a month, but long runs, and twice or twice a month, because to me, previously I used to play rugby, but I stopped because of life. So, but like somebody once said, is actually the former New Zealand rugby head coach, Gordon Tietjens, usually told that once you build a reservoir in terms of your conditioning, all you need is just to back it up in terms of charging it up. So in terms of running, I usually just run at least like once or twice a month, because my body had usually acclimatized to doing those sort of long runs. To cut that story short, that early morning, called my mama nikamwambia, you guys, I'm not feeling good bana, jana by the way we didn't talk, but let me just tell you in terms of how I am. I'm just feeling kind of like a fever kombali. So akaniambia, we talked, nikamwambia maybe I'll just holler at you baadaye. So that day I was going to be also have a few errands, just go see a few guys. So I left the house like around 10ish hapo. Went, had a strepsil. So on my way, I was going on Mombasa Road. So that time Mombasa Road is usually packed, jam to jam, car to car. So there was a lot of traffic. They were still building that way around near Bellevue. There's still that big jump from there as you go towards Mombasa Road, Apo, towards all the way Paka GM. So as I'm going, and as I'm going towards I was going to see someone, all that way, it took me almost like 2 hours. So during that trip, the fever got worse. Yani I was really sweating, and I'm like, you guy VP, is this really me? So what I did was I called myself to a meeting. Kajiambia, same guys, itabidi you guy uende, maybe you go see someone. So okay, to cut the long story short, I went, ended up not seeing the guy, took a U-turn, came back. So what I did, I didn't go directly to the OC. I came back, lay down kidogo, and then said, you guys, let me just go and have myself checked. So I went and had myself checked. I went to Nairobi Hospital, not Nairobi Hospital, Nairobi West Hospital. Just so what they did, I had a rapid test. So a rapid test is just a COVID test, but it is much quicker in terms of you get quicker results. So they did a rapid test on me. Between I was just sitting up, a few guys passing, so I was taken to a kind of like a room up. with some guys also. So there was a lady also there who had she came. She also had a rapid test. So her she tested negative. So in my mind, I'm like, I can't be positive because I live a healthy lifestyle. I try eat healthy, yeah. So it can't be siwezi kuwa nimepata COVID. So I'm like, hii lazima ikwe ni malaria. So there's another lady who had taken the test. So she took like a bit of time before she came in, gave me the results. So during that period, I was kind of like restless, like so unajuanga tu ile uko pali, you like could this be, how come, it must be malaria, it can't be. So the test came. So she came casually, and that time I'd also initially talked to a doctor. So what was, I asked him, VP, how are you seeing this COVID thing? Do you see it as something that is an alarming? So he told me, yeah, this thing, by the way, it's real banner. So me, I thought it was usually old guys nonapata nini. And that time, by the way, I was trying to host an event. There was an event I was organizing. You know me, I'm a car guy. I'm into cars and rugby. So there was this event I was organizing. Let me just show you guys. It was called the Mabera Africa Motor Show. It was going to be in Kani on May 1st and 2nd. So I'd organized in terms of getting guys to the event, also getting partners to the event. I would also try to get brands to the event. And the event, truly, I was trying to get it to be a big event in terms of getting guys there, brands, just sort of something like the Total Motor Show, but a new experience in terms of beautiful cars, in terms of also new features, seeing the cars, seeing also the people, the ambience, the food, because Carnival was going to provide the food and drinks. And you know, with Kani, if it's a Kani event, you know, in terms of hype and whatever, the event space and also the ambience, they do pull up. So even me, in terms of, I wanted it to be a good event, but also a family themed event around cars. But what ended up happening was that the guy told me, by the way, you guys, if you're trying to hold an event, you guys just stop now. So that's the dog telling me. So I'm like, yeah, maybe this guy is true. But at that time, I'm still waiting for my results. So I'm like, maybe I should consider this guy's me. But you know, also, I didn't also want to disappoint the guys who had, let's say guys of Kani had also booked the venue, also in terms of partners. So you know, it was it was a conundrum, in this case. So what I did, after just waiting up kidogo, the lab results came. So she told me, hey, you guys, VP, casually, when they take the rapid test, it's someone like a thermometer. So if it comes once, if you get one line, it means you're negative. So if you get two, it means you're positive. And I got two lines. So she told me that. So you got 2 lines, you guys, you're COVID-19 positive. Sema we. So you guys, that's where the whole fiasco started for me. So she was like taking it seriously. Not that seriously, because maybe she had met a lot of COVID-19 patients. So guys who had gotten COVID. So at that time I'm like, I've gotten COVID, what do I do? So what ended up happening, she told me, do you want to check in? We admit you. I said, no, I can't. You can't be admitted. So what she told me, you guys, it's either you be admitted or you go isolate at home. So nikakubali, what's anipatie drugs, give me the prescriptions, I'll go isolate at home, I'll do my things at home, and be I'm sure I'll beat COVID. Because my mindset inakuanga anything. Hata hapo, even if I told myself hata kama nimepata hii COVID, I'll beat COVID. Hakuna kitu siwezi beat, because in terms of fitness of health, I'm like, it starts with the mind. There's a place in Proverbs. It says that or it usually speaks about the wellness of the mind is how the body also draws its strength from. So how your mind perceives is also what your body follows. So that's a verse in Proverbs. I'll put it, let's say, in my next live stream. So don't worry. I'm not okay. I'm a Bible reader, but I usually read Proverbs and Ecclesiastes only. I only read two names in the Bible. Anyway, apart from that, after doing that, came back home. So the first day, I'm like, so who do I break this news to? Because I'm also I do have colleagues, so they might have been infected or not, because so they need to know and they need to go get tested. Secondly, also I need to inform, let's say, my close family. So most of the guys, so in terms of the guys I called my paros. So my mom, Apple, my dad, my sis. Also I had to call my colleagues, because they had to know, so that they go get tested. Hopefully none of them was positive. I was the only one that had contracted the COVID. So in terms of now battling COVID, so for me, how it started, for me it was just the fever and the cold. So they gave me a whole list of drugs, which I was taking. So in terms of the drugs, enyewe zilikuwa mingi, unapewa madrugs hapo. Enyewe mi the last time nilikunywa madrugs imekuwa 2 years ago. So from 2 years ago, you imagine, unapewa madrugs, you have to go drink this, kunywa hii, weka hii. Alafu hapo, sahi with COVID, unaambiwa take concoction, buy ginger, buy. So that time, what I remember, I usually have an aunt in the States. So her, she told me that she had gone for a first COVID injection. Not COVID injection, how do I call it? The first vaccine. So her, she had told me that, hey, you guys take black pepper, take olive oil, ginger, usually those two herbs. So those were that came into a part of my diet routine. You guys, nakwambia, in terms of fluids, I was drinking water, chemshaing those, taking those drugs. What else? I was taking because I usually had this concoction, olive oil, a bit of olive oil, you put garlic. I had also put garlic, lime also, lemon. Lime and lemon is different. Lime and lemon. What did they usually put? White pepper, black pepper. What did they usually also have? Water. And then you boil in a mix. So that was one of the concoctions that I usually used to drink religiously. Like after I've taken the drugs from the OC, that's also one you take. And also in terms of like one had been prescribed by my mom. You need to you steam yourself. But that was one of the laborious tasks. Ile ati you have to constantly take drugs. And also the sun. So that's where nilikuja nikajua enyewe the sun is something important. Walking out, just strolling, because guys who work in the office, you guys, mtu unapata you working from 8 to 8. You go to the office, you don't go out, you don't go even go out for lunch. You usually take lunch, you beba in you lunch in the office. That's when I came to realize anyway the sun is really important, because that's one of the prescriptions you give, and you guys walk in the sun. So there's usually this guy masculinity Saturday usually prescribes walking in the sun as one of his prescriptions of a healthy lifestyle, one of them. So anyway, segueing away from that, walking in the sun, that was one of the prescriptions. Another thing was also I wanted, let's say, like right away to start running, because I say that since it's something that affects the lungs, I need to start running also. So I didn't start running because I got an advice that I shouldn't just start putting my body under stress, maybe at a later date. But I did, let's say after a week, I did start running, just to get the body back and getting, in terms of the air back into my lungs, and just having my respiratory system, trying to get it back at par, and ifanye yani tu nijisikie niko poa. So the only thing, let's say, during this, another thing that was stressful to me was a cough, a persistent cough. Yani unapata unakohoa, hey, both sema kohoa, unakohoa ingine, as in, so ile kohoa mbaya, unakohoa, but it is persistent, you get, it doesn't end. So that was one of the most irritating things, because you try eating fruits, unakula mandimu, unafanya hii, and that, the coughing came, let's say, like after 3-4 days. Now that's when the coughing started. So when the coughing started, I was like, you guys VP. So the coughing did come, and I did do, let's say, it was kind of like persistent for almost like 2 weeks, just the coughing, because it started the same week and it almost lasted for 2 weeks. So in terms of the fever ends quite early. For me, in my case, it ended quite early. Hii part ingine, let's say, in terms of let me just see, in terms of any other, how will I say it? Yeah, just the fever part of it. That one, the malaria, feeling like the malaria aspect of it, that one ended early. But hii ingine, now the coughing, and that is what was persistent. So that one I did try to get rid of it, paka nikajinulia vitu zingine. I was also prescribed this vitamin C, but this is not like the kryptonite at hii ndio itakuheal. No, this is one of the many that was given, the vitamin C. That I usually took some how do I say it, some cough syrup. That's something that I also bought for myself. So during these 2 weeks, what did I learn? Okay, for myself, it was also a point of self-reflection, in terms of me looking to myself, in terms of, one, who am I, and also in terms of what did I want to achieve. Another thing that also I had to do during that period, that period also led to because the second week was in April. So in April, during that April period, I remember that's when the president announced the second lockdown. So for me, it was also God sent, because to me, anyway, I felt that guys also complained, and true, businesses were hurting and stuff. But in terms of also from his perspective, and from somebody who got COVID, I can really attest that when he locked the country down, he had a reason. Because me getting COVID is kwanza, it's not good. I would say it's something that you not wish on somebody. And if it's somebody, let's say if you have underlying conditions, I can imagine the stress that it takes you. So thank God I don't have any underlying conditions, and yeah, I made it through. So something that I also did, I had to also cancel uh, the event that was I had at Carnival. So that was one because of also me falling sick, and also the president also putting the lockdown again. So in terms of lockdown, in terms of meetings, that was also something that was also God sent. Anyway, it's God's plan. So yeah, also in terms of also knowing who can you rely on in terms of those times when you don't have at those times when you're sick, you really get to know who is for you. And during those periods at times you also get to know, like, a job is not everything, because once if you get that you pass on from a job, you'll just be replaced. So in terms of also living a life and a legacy, that's something that as is also on my mind. So also I did have a clear picture in terms of what I want to achieve, but right now it's also a bit stronger in terms of my focus and what I want to do. Because if you look at not this other side, yeah, this other side, that's what my focus is on in terms of what I want to achieve. So what I've learned with COVID is that COVID is real. You need to sanitize. Follow what these guys do tell you in terms of the doctors and stuff, because it's really a real pandemic. Also, in terms of having something that will be a legacy for you, so you need to also have a perspective in terms of what will be your legacy. What do you want to do? What do you want to achieve? Not apart from just having a job. Who do you want to be? What do you want to do? What dreams do you have? What dreams do you have? And what are you doing to achieve those dreams? Because your dreams do matter. Your dreams do matter, and whatever you believe, what you have is also of true perspective. So be true to yourself. Know what you want to achieve, what legacy, uh, who do you want to love, or rather, who do you want to keep close? Because at the end of the day, when you at your final moments, those are the people who will remember you, the people who keep you close. So yeah, that's what COVID has taught me. And for guys who might get COVID, or somebody who will get COVID, I think it just starts with the mindset, what you tell yourself. eh? In terms of your mind, you also have to, because I believe everything just starts with the mind, your clear frame of mind, what you tell yourself, what you want to do in terms of beating the odds. So COVID is one of the things that I overcame. Right now I'm almost, this is my, I'd say that 1 month, one month, and this, I'm going to the third week, 1 month, 3 weeks COVID free. Yeah, so that has been my rant, how I beat COVID. Maybe you also have your perspective in terms of, maybe you yourself you also beat COVID. Post posti pale kwenye comments, post on the comments. Let me hear your perspective. If you did get COVID, did you beat it? Do you know somebody who got COVID? And how was the experience? Could have been a family member, could have been somebody close to you. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, as I said, I'm Sydney Sino. Subscribe to my channel. Yeah, to get more on cars videos and yeah, my perspective on life and stuff. Yeah, and also no, download the Maber app. So what the Maber app is, it's an app. So what it does is that it's just like YouTube or Facebook. You can post your content there. Once you posted your content on the app, guys can send you money, and we've also incorporated guys can send you dollars or Kenya shillings, in terms of by just appreciating you for the content that you put out, because content creation is not easy. You also have to put, because you have to put yourself there, find what say put if it is your content that you're creating, be creative. And also, apart from likes, because at the end of the year you've got 10 million likes. Does 10 million likes convert to money? Because at the end of the day, you can't pay rent on likes. You have to pay rent with or buy food with money. So if you're a content creator, jump on the Maber app. If you're not a content creator, we also have an e-commerce part on the app. So what you do is just register your shop, uh, where you guys can come to see your products. Once they see your products, they can buy, have, and it will be delivered by our delivery partners on the app. Apart from that, you can, if you are have a delivery service, a delivery company, you can also register on the app. And also, in order to do deliveries from guys on the app, if you don't do deliveries, you can do live streaming, you can chat on the app. And a new version, we are launching a new version 2 to improve many of the features in terms of user interface, how the we're changing how the app completely looks, and also having new themes, new features, new feature sets, new activities that will get guys engaged on the platform. Yeah, so that is the Maber app, and that is Sydney Sino. That's enough about me. Yeah, cheers and see you on the next